And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Roster Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on Living in Black.com. My name is Katie Owado, aka the Conscious Roster. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We commit you from 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 12 noon Eastern Time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa Time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Wednesday, the first day of October, 2025 in the Western calendar, Gregorian calendar. This corresponds to the year 6266 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on Living in Black.com. It's off. It's an adventurous day. Today is the day I go shopping, Wednesdays, and I'm going to be preparing for a feast this Saturday. Here at my home, we are going to open up our house and welcome you all in. For those of you in the Las Vegas area, please do come by and join with us, Black Las Vegas Vegans. There's not only black people, there are non-black people, there are white people, people of the other faiths, etc. And we get together with you, and of course lots of brown people. We get together and we feast. And I encourage everybody out there, do this in your neighborhood. Get together with your friends and family and extended family and host a feast. It's a great way of being in touch with our spirituality, of being in touch with our community, of staying of staying healthy, mind, body, and spirit. And of course, it's a great way of advocating, prostulating, I might say, for this incredibly healthy lifestyle, the living superfood lifestyle. I say greetings to each and every one of you out there in the audience. I do see for Africa One is joining us now. She says, Hotep, Brother Keedy, and Global LUB family. Oops, LIB. It's great to have you in the house today, beloved. It's always is a pleasure welcoming you and everyone else to our listening audience. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening, can we get you to hit the like button? Let us know you are in the house. Let us know you are with your LIB family. It's absolutely a pleasure. And I do notice right now my screen is real crusty looking. And I don't know if I have any control over that right now. What I can do is I'm going to try and shut down some of these windows that I have open and see if I can free up more bandwidth. So what I am doing right now, I'm going to free up more bandwidth and see if that makes me look less crusty this morning and more trusty this morning. We don't want to look crusty. We want to look trusty. So I do have up for my windows, I do have up, and bear with me 1 second. I want to clear this window because I want to share this with you, our listening audience. We have a dialogue entitled, Only 5 Jobs Are Likely to Survive Artificial Intelligence. First, let me introduce today's program. Today, we summarize the following conversation from AI safety expert Roman Yampolskiy, Dr. Roman Yampolskiy. It's entitled, There Are Only 5 Jobs That Will Remain in 20 2030. Only 5 jobs that will remain in 2030. Now that title is a little bit it's a little bit misleading, but it's basically 5 skills set he's talking about. 5 skills set. And I can't disagree. He lays out his case very clearly. 5 skills sets that will survive this convergence, the big problem of what is happening in the world. Now, I'm doing the best I can. I am trying to free up bandwidth over here and get a little clearer picture over here. I'm going to just do this. We're going to just go ahead and go forward. So I'm up on Rumble. I'm going to put up this video I have queued up right now. Oh, I didn't finish the introduction. There are only 5 jobs that will remain in 2030. AI will replace most jobs. This is from Dr. Roman Yampolskiy. He argued this on a recent YouTube broadcast, that accelerating automation will displace a vast majority of occupations worldwide. Economic incentives. Now, this is not worldwide by 2030. This is one instance where being outside of America is going to be more advantageous to us than being inside of America. 2 things are different. One is America is among the most, but not the most advanced nation insofar as technology, automation, AI, machine learning, etc. But the second thing is capitalism has run amok in America. The capitalists in America and the UK and France, I would say, have gone buck wild crazy. They don't give a hoot about the middle class, the working class. They really don't care. What did Kanye West say when George Bush? He said, George Bush doesn't like black people. They don't care about us, sang Michael Jackson, the prophet Michael Jackson. They don't care about us. So if they can replace us, number one, they're not necessarily so concerned about us finding a new place. Number two, they're not so much concerned about creating a universal income so that everyone within the society can live a standard of living that is acceptable. So capitalists, they don't care about us. Do you agree or do you disagree? They don't care about us. Michael Jackson sang. He sang. Michael Jackson sang. S-A-G. They don't care about us. Do you agree? That's a question I'm typing in the chat. Michael Jackson sang, they don't care about us. Do you agree or do you disagree? You might say, no, they do care about us. They care about our health. They want us to be healthy enough to go to work. Well, if almost all of the jobs are going to be gone in 5 years, 6 years, then they may only care about a few of us coming to work and making sure that the robots are all synchronized and working. And we could always be the ones to service the robots until they can come up with a robot to service the other robots. We're going to get deep into it today. So a little bit more of this introduction, and then let's go off into the research I pulled together. This shift will disproportionately affect middle class jobs while creating demand for a narrower set of roles that require uniquely human capacities, such as deep empathy, moral judgment, and social trust, forcing societies to rethink labor markets education, and safety nets. Will you lose your place? That's a serious question we're asking. Will you lose your place? I'm going to ask you all. Can I hit you to hit the like button wherever you're listening from? We'd love to know who is in the house, where you are in the house, and do you care? If you don't care, if you say, hey, it's inevitable, I put my fate in the hands of the Lord, and the Lord will keep me alive. Okay, that's not the worst position to be in. If it keeps you mentally balanced and mentally healthy, that's a good position to be in. Some people are so worried about worries that they're losing their mental stability, and unfortunately, increasingly this is leading to mass murder, suicide, and other pathologies that are widespread within American society. Other societies are affected as well, but American society has gone crazy. It's gone buck wild. It has. So let's go into today's research. I'm going to get through as much of this as I can. First of all, let me play this video. This video appears on YouTube, and I just want to take a moment to play it. Where is it at? Not that. I'm going to have to copy this. That's what I'm going to have to do. Copy, cut, and paste. For Africa One writes, they don't even care about the health of the planet for their future progeny. Yep, they don't care. And if you listen to yesterday's report, it appears that they aren't even planning on raising great-grandchildren. They have come to the conclusion that male infertility is going to become so bad that, quite likely, those of us who have grandchildren, our grandchildren will not have grandchildren. That was yesterday's report. And I laid out my evidence to the best of my abilities. So what I'm going to do right now, I've got this link up. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to paste it into the next document. And I think it's right, it's queued up to right where it needs to be, to the second. This is an extensive interview that the two proponents have. This is on, I can't remember the name of the program, but this is Dr. Roman, let me get his name, Dr. Roman Yampolskiy. Roman Yampolskiy is talking to the host of the show, and I hope you do find this to be useful. I'm going to paste it up here. I thought I did this a little bit earlier, and I may have closed the wrong site. And I'm going to copy, present this screen, share screen, here, AI safety expert. And here is what the program has to say. Put this up on the screen. You can see it now. And here is what it has to say. Let just a few minutes of this play.
Simulation theory is a interesting sort of adjacent subject here, because as computers begin to accelerate and get more intelligent, and we're able to do things with AI that we could never have imagined, in terms of, like, imagine the worlds that we could create with virtual reality. I think it was Google that recently released, what was it called? Like the AI worlds.
You take a picture and it generates a whole world.
Yeah, and you can move through the world. I'll put it on the screen for people to see, but Google have released this technology which allows you, I think with a simple prompt actually, to make a three-dimensional world that you can then navigate through. And in that world it has memory. So in the world, if you paint on a wall and turn away, you look back, the wall.
It's persistent.
Yeah, it's persistent. And when I saw that, I go, God, Jesus, bloody hell, this is like the foothills of being able to create a simulation that's indistinguishable from everything I see here.
Right. That's why I think we are in one. That's exactly the reason. AI is getting to the level of creating human agents, human level agents, and virtual reality is getting to the level of being indistinguishable from ours.
So So you think this is a simulation?
I'm pretty sure we are in a simulation, yeah.
For someone that isn't familiar with the simulation arguments, what are the first principles here that convince you that we are currently living in a simulation?
So you need certain technologies to make it happen. If you believe we can create human-level AI,
Yeah.
and you believe we can create virtual reality as good as this in terms of resolution, haptics, whatever properties it has, then I commit right now, the moment this is affordable, I'm going to run billions of simulations at this exact moment, making sure you are statistically in one.
Say that last part again. You're going to run.
I'm going to commit right now, when it's very affordable, it's like $10 a month to run it. I'm going to run 1 billion simulations of this interview.
Why?
Because statistically, that means you are in one right now. The chance of you being in the real one is 1 in a billion.
Okay, so to make sure I'm clear on this.
It's a retroactive placement.
Yeah, so the minute it's affordable, then you can run billions of them, and they would feel and appear to be exactly like this interview right now.
Right. So assuming the AI has internal states, experiences, qualia. Some people argue that they don't. Some say they already have it. That's a separate philosophical question. But if we can simulate this, I will.
Some people might misunderstand. You're not saying that you will. You're saying that someone will.
I can also do it. I don't mind.
Okay.
Of course, others will do it before I get there. If I'm getting it for $10, somebody got it for $1,000. That's not the point. If you have technology, we're definitely running a lot of simulations for research, for entertainment, games, all sorts of reasons. And the number of those greatly exceeds the number of real worlds we're in. Look at all the video games kids are playing. Every kid plays 10 different games. There's, 1 billion kids in the world. So there is 10 billion simulations in one real world.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation continues. I'm going to pause it right now. That was not where I had intended to come in, but I can assure you this, no part of that conversation is boring. None at all. I do see Harshal in the house. He says, bro, just shut the F up. Well, I have a button over here that says ban user and delete their comments. So you are no longer in our LIV family. Too bad. Too bad, because you could have learned a lot. I'm not going to even worry about it. You could have learned a lot, but you got banned because you just didn't adhere to the rules. And it is what it is. Let's go forward. I'm going to go into my research now that I have pulled together. There were 15 key takeaways from this extensive conversation between the Diary of a CEO host and Dr. Roman Yampolskiy. Among the 15 key takeaways, I'll list them, then we're going to go into them. Number 1, AI will replace 99% of jobs. 2, only 5 jobs will survive. And I take that, it's a little misleading. It's not 5 jobs. It's 5 roles. Let's say 5 roles will survive because the roles are flexible. They will overlap. They're not siloed. The roles can overlap. Number 3, super intelligence is imminent. And that super intelligence is then, I think, the last stage before singularity, super intelligence, when the computers become so smart that mankind cannot really truly understand what artificial intelligence, the robots, the computers are up to. Number 4, AI could trigger global collapse. Number 5, AI safety is urgent, absolutely urgent. And that's what Dr. Roman Yampolskiy's specialty is. He is an AI safety expert, and he's probably the one to introduce the whole concept of AI safety as an imperative. He did say there were others that had been working on AI safety before him, but he comes in and gives it a thematic concept that is unprecedented. Point 6, current AI systems are black boxes. Number 7, AI is more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Point 8, we're unprepared for AI's impact. Point 9, Sam Altman, who is the leader of ChatGPT. Sam Altman is criticized for ignoring safety. Point number 10, AI could design deadly viruses. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I cannot disagree with it either. Number 11, super intelligence will be uncontrollable. Now, let me back up. Well, I'll save the critique because I have longer explanations on all of these. But the idea of viruses, I regard viruses to be chimeras. They're big, nasty, fire-eating dragons that really are not real. Now, point 11, superintelligence will be uncontrollable. So once we reach superintelligence, then we can no longer control it. We can maybe accurately observe it, but not control it. Point 12, the cost of AI development is dropping. Point 13, AI development is a global race, almost like a new arms race. Point 14, upskilling is crucial to do. When upskill, don't wait until you lose your job. You need to start your task of upskilling now. And he says, point 15, for everyone to join an AI safety movement. So that's the 15 critical topics that were in this conversation. We're going to get into some of those a little bit more. Here is a summary of the 5 jobs that Yampolskiy says will remain by 2030. 5 jobs that will remain, likely remain, by 2030. Dr. Roman Yampolskiy argues that only a small handful of roles, that's the word, not jobs, but roles, requiring uniquely human preferences, deeply emotional connection, or social trust are likely to persist once AI and robotics dominate most economic tasks. These 5 roles are, number 1, creative work that expresses uniquely human perspective. Tasks that rely on personal lived experience, novel aesthetic judgment, or cultural meaning are harder for AI to fully replicate. So artists, certain authors, and bespoke creators may retain roles valued for human authenticity. And I like that one. I like it because I did see myself very much in that. But I do think this idea of human authenticity, personally, I think it does, or it should, remain supreme. Practical step, build a distinct personal brand and offer experiences or contexts that AI cannot replicate. Point 2, direct human caregiving and healthcare with emotional labor. Explanation, high trust caregiving roles, nursing, palliative care, some therapists require emotional presence, moral judgment, and physical bedside. Subtleties that Yampolskiy says are difficult for AI to replace completely. So as a practical step, he recommends strengthen your communication, empathy, and interdisciplinary skills that integrate technology rather than compete with it. Skills that integrate technology rather than compete with it. Strengthen your communication skills, your empathy, and interdisciplinary skills. That's pretty good advice. 3, skilled trades and hands-on troubleshooting. certain manual trades that combine dexterity, on-the-spot problem solving, and work in uncontrolled environments may persist longer than routine factory tasks, though robots will encroach over time. As a practical step, he recommends specialize in diagnostics, custom fabrication, and adaptive problem-solving skills tied to physical contexts. And he says, again, robotics will encroach eventually on skilled trades and hands-on troubleshooting. Point 4, education, mentorship, and socialized learning roles. Teaching that involves mentorship, motivation, socialization, and moral development depends on human relationships and context sensitivity that Yampolskiy sees as resilient to pure automation. Pure automation is emphasized. So as a practical step, focus on being a mentor, curriculum designing, and roles that combine pedagogy, which means education, with social emotional learning and community building. Focus on mentorship, curriculum design, and roles that combine pedagogy with social emotional learning and community building. All of those distinctly human qualities. And number 5, deeply interpersonal services. Therapists, social workers, bespoke customer relationships. Services built on trust, confidentiality, cultural nuance, and complex human judgment, such as psychotherapy and high-stakes client advisory, are likely to remain because AI cannot yet replicate genuine human trustworthiness and moral accountability. As a practical step, he says obtain credentials, emphasize ethical standards, and develop hybrid models that use AI as an aid while preserving human oversight and empathy. Good advice. Next, I want to say greetings. I do see, and I misspelled Michael Jackson's name. Sorry about that, Michael Jackson. I do see in the house Basu Nefert Ra Seshat Akwaba. She says, Uja all. It seems that my nursing career is safe for now. That is true. And he's also suggesting keep expanding, keep credentialing, keep bringing in other qualities to your nursing career. But yeah, at this particular point, I would say yes, especially that I know you, that you are not only engaging in your nursing career, but you're also highly compassionate, empathetic person. And empathy is one of the qualities, along with your ethical standards, that AI will have a hard time replicating. So we're going to summarize now the 15 points I listed earlier. Number 1, AI will replace most jobs. Dr. Yampolskiy argues that accelerating automation will displace a vast majority of occupations worldwide. Economic incentives, improving models, and falling computation costs make replacing routine cognitive and manual tasks profitable for firms. This shift will disproportionately affect middle skill jobs while creating demand for a narrower set of roles that require uniquely human capacities, such as deep empathy, moral judgment, and social trust, forcing societies to rethink labor markets, education, and safety nets. And boy, that is undeniably the biggest area of concern. Point 2, he says 5 job categories will persist. He claims only 5 categories of roles will reliably survive widespread automation by 2030. That's 5 years from now. Caregivers, mental health professionals, high trust community leaders, bespoke creative artisans, and specialized AI safety auditors. These jobs rely on sustained human relationships, trust, or unpredictable creativity that current and near future AI cannot authentically replicate. Even within those categories, job content will change dramatically, requiring reskilling, cultural adjustments, and new institutional supports to preserve human dignity and livelihood. Number 3, AGI is approaching rapidly. And real quickly, I don't understand this AGI, and I'm going to just define real quickly what is AGI, and it's going to tell me adjusted gross income. That doesn't sound right. What is AGI regarding artificial intelligence? What is AGI regarding artificial intelligence? Artificial general intelligence, not adjusted gross income. AGI, artificial general intelligence, refers to a type of an artificial intelligence that aims to replicate human cognitive abilities across a wide range of tasks. Unlike narrow AI, which is designed for specific tasks such as face recognition or language translation, AGI possesses the versatility and adaptability to perform any cognitive task that a human can. And this is going on quite a bit. Let me read more of this. It's very important. Key characteristics of AGI, artificial general intelligence. Number 1, versatility. AGI can perform tasks not limited to specific domains. It can play chess, compose music, conduct scientific research, and understand complex human emotions. Number 2, adaptability. AGI learns from past experiences and uses this knowledge to handle new and unfamiliar situations similar to human intelligence. Ooh, this is going on and on and on and on and on. I won't be able to read it all, but I'm going to do the best I can. Key characteristics number 3, self-improvement. AGI can enhance its performance autonomously by identifying its strengths and weaknesses, changing tactics, and inventing new ways to solve problems. And number 4, key characteristic, general understanding. Unlike narrow AI, advanced artificial general intelligence, not advanced, artificial general intelligence can comprehend, interpret, and interact with the world in a flexible manner. Talks about the current progress and challenges. Despite significant advancements in AI, achieving AGI remains a theoretical goal. Current AI systems such as ChatGPT-4 exhibit some features of general understanding, but we are not yet considered advanced, not artificial general intelligence. Key challenges include number 1, common sense reasoning. Number 2, transfer learning. Number 3, interpretability and explainability. Ensuring AGI's decisions are understandable and explainable is crucial for gaining trust and ensuring safety, and ethical implications and future directions. The development of AGI brings profound ethical and social implications. Key considerations include what to do about job displacement. Number 2, security risks. And number 3, existential risks. There is a possibility that AGI, artificial general intelligence, could surpass human intelligence, creating a situation where humans can no longer manage super intelligence machines. That's pretty extensive. I'm going to copy that whole section and paste that over here in my document. And there, I did do it. Ooh, that's a mess. The formatting on that is just really terrible. But that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that today. So we talked about where are we at? This was number 3. AGI, artificial general intelligence, is approaching rapidly. And let me put that in parentheses. AGI stands for artificial general intelligence. AGI is rapidly approaching. Number 4. Oh, let me read that. AGI is rapidly approaching. Yampolskiy warns that trajectories in model scaling, algorithmic innovation, and cross-disciplinary integration could provide artificial general intelligence within a short time horizon. AGI, capable of performing broad intellectual tasks and self-directed improvement, would dramatically widen AI capabilities and reduce humans' comparative advantage across knowledge work. The arrival of AGI would shift the policy discussion from incremental automation to existential risk management, governance alignment, and global coordination to prevent catastrophic misuse or unintended cascades. Wow, this is getting frightening. I hope you do get a chance to listen to the entire conversation. I did put it up a little bit earlier. Let me just double check, make sure I did put that up. No, I didn't put that up. Let me copy this link once again to the video. And this video is Ask the AI Expert. The only 5 jobs that will remain. No, that's not the video. Yeah, only 5 jobs are likely to survive artificial intelligence. Copy. Put this here, home, there, and here is that link. For those of you on our YouTube page, there is the link. And I didn't mean to do that. Only 5 jobs. This is the precise link that I intended to place up. Put it up there on Facebook. Let me put it up here on Rumble. And I do see Nguvu has joined us in the house. Welcome, Brother Nguvu. Sawubona. Just read that Harvard, Trump said, will get a trade school for AI. This makes no sense to me. This sounds more like a community college program. Your comments. Yeah, that's the level of understanding of computers, AI, artificial intelligence that Donald Trump himself exhibits. Donald Trump is an idiot. I'm not saying that to be mean or rude. Donald Trump, he's a village idiot. Donald Trump was selected by the billionaires who surround him and run him. For one, he loved being selected by these billionaires because that meant in his mind they consider him to be one of them. But Donald Trump is the village idiot. And so they're using him for all of these things. So Harvard becoming a trade school for AI, it's combining the idea that we do need an advanced place where we study this. Donald Trump could have made the statement and been more accurate that currently MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, serves as the capital of AI development in the United States. Might be Stanford University, might be MIT. There are a number of universities that are on the cutting edge of this. Harvard, maybe, but I personally think that Harvard was really developed more as a school to teach the skills of the elite ruling class. That's what it's been producing. It does produce very highly skilled people in many different fields, Yale, Harvard, and the others. But it's really about elite training to run and control everything in perpetuity. For African one, can AI actually be described as intelligent, or is it automated information? That's a really good question. I like the way your mind works. I like that. At this point, AI has surpassed most humans' capability of even understanding what it does. But I don't regard you to be an average thinking mind. So I like the way you do that. But we have to understand this idea of AGI is the next Rubicon. Once we cross AGI, artificial general intelligence, there may be no turning back from that point on. I do see in the house on YouTube, Cordonte J has joined us. Writes, machines might be able to walk a dog, but they cannot connect with, then like a human. The animal would immediately reject an artificial spirit. You're making a good point. That's a very good point you make. And it kind of coordinates a little bit in my mind with yesterday's dialogue talking about the failure of male fertility, because it's coming to the point where people are now more connecting with their pets than they are connecting with the children that are not being born, largely due to the absolute collapse in male fertility. Sperm counts since our grandfather's generation have fallen 59% in the United States in the last 40 years. 40 years, 59%. That means in another 40 years it will be near approaching zero. So therefore, people today are connecting with their pets. In the future, I say people will more connect with their pets in America. This is in America, not in Africa. In Africa, it's completely different. But they will in America connect more with their pets than they will with the children that were not born. And therefore, the pet connecting with artificial intelligence. I like the way your brain works. Going forward, I'm going to continue reading. We're talking about these 15 key takeaways. We are up to number 4. Existential and systemic risks increase. Existential, meaning existence. The talk stresses that superintelligent systems could cause catastrophic outcomes, ranging from economic collapse to engineered biological threats or destabilized infrastructure. Risks include misaligned objectives, rapid capability amplification, and proliferation of powerful tools without adequate oversight. Systemic dependencies on automated systems could amplify failures into cascades, undermining social order. Preparing for these risks requires anticipatory governance, technical alignment research, and strengthening societal resilience to absorb shocks and preserve critical functions. That's pretty deep. Number 5, AI safety must be prioritized now. Yampolskiy insists that AI safety research and regulation are urgent priorities equal to or exceeding other global threats. He argues governments, corporations, and research institutions must allocate resources to interpretability, alignment, robust testing, and secure deployment practices. Safety work should also include legal frameworks, auditing regimes, and international norms to manage competitive pressures. Prioritizing safety early can reduce catastrophic tail risks and enable beneficial integration of AI into society while protecting vulnerable populations. AI safety must be prioritized now. By whom? By all of us. Number 6, opaque models create control problems. Advanced AI systems operate in high dimensional spaces and behave as black boxes, making their decision logic obscure. This opacity complicates auditing, accountability, and trust, since unintended behaviors may emerge without clear causal explanations. Yampolskiy emphasizes the need for transparency tools, model interpretability, research, and deployment constraints to ensure human operators can predict and control dangerous behaviors. Without better transparency, AI-driven decisions in critical domains could produce harmful outcomes that are difficult to diagnose or to reverse. Opaque models create control problems. I do agree with the good Dr. Yampolskiy. Point 7. AI dangers outweigh previous technologies. He compares AI to historical disruptive technologies and highlights unique features that make AI potentiality more dangerous than nuclear or biological risk. Unlike single-use weapons or localized hazards, advanced AI can scale rapidly, be repurposed across domains, and self-improve. Such properties create novel pathways to misuse and unintended systemic effects. This comparison underlines the demand for rigorous preventative measures, international coordination, and ethical guardrails tailored to AI's distinct modes of harm and diffusion, and it must be coordinated across international boundaries and international domains. Another critical problem that shoulda, coulda, woulda been coordinated across international domains was climate change, climate warming. How well did they pull that off? They screwed that completely. And now we are suffering the consequences. So AI dangers, international domains, by 2030, it's going to get scary, y'all. Number 8, global race intensifies risks. A competitive international and corporate race to develop superior AI systems incentivizes speed over safety, increasing the probability of unsafe deployments. Nations and firms pursuing strategic advantage may underinvest in safeguards, accelerate diffusion of hazardous capabilities, and escalate mistrust between actors. Yampolskiy calls for cooperative frameworks, transparency obligations, and arms control style agreements for AI to align incentives towards safety, reduce destabilizing secrecy, and create verification mechanisms that lower the risk of accidental or malicious harms. Whew. Take a deep breath. This is getting a little worrisome here. Keep going. Number 9. Leadership priorities are criticized. In the conversation, Dr. Yampolskiy criticizes leaders in technology for prioritizing growth and market dominance over precautionary measures. He contends that influential figures have incentivized rapid procrastination. No, not procrastination. He contends that influential leaders have incentivized rapid productization, reducing windows for careful evaluation and safety testing. This governance failure, driven by venture capital and reward systems, increases systemic risk. Addressing it requires rethinking corporate governance, introducing accountability for long-term harms, and creating regulatory backstops that curb reckless deployment while preserving beneficial innovation under safer, more transparent norms. Yes, AI is here. People are going to continue to develop it. But unfortunately, the pace of development of AI and the incentive to corner the market on the most advanced development of it has not surpassed humans' morality, ethics, and ethical standards. So at this particular point, leadership priorities must change. He criticizes these leadership priorities. I do agree. Number 10, bio threats become more accessible via AI. Bio threats. Dr. Yampolskiy warns that AI could democratize biological design by enabling non-experts to engineer pathogens or modify organisms, lowering technical barriers to creating potent bio threats. Automated design, optimization, and simulation tools could accelerate malicious or accidental misuse. Mitigating this threat needs integrated biosecurity policies, access controls, technical safeguards, and collaboration between AI and life science communities to detect and block dangerous capabilities before they proliferate, while balancing legitimate scientific research and public health needs. And again, if we're looking at an example of what is going on and the threats that it potentially has, look at bioengineering, genetic engineering, GMOs. Look at two corporations who don't really give a damn. Boy, I almost wish I could cuss again, but I'm not cussing. Monsanto, Bayer, DuPont, Dow Chemical, Syngenta. Look at these corporations. What kind of ethics was in place when 20 years ago a company created Epicite, the sterilization gene that has been put into the world. It has been put into the world. Epicite. It's out there. You don't know where it is because the regulation and the safety mechanism was not put into place to tell everybody this is where your GMOs are to be found, and Epicite is in these products. Most likely, we suspect it's corn. And unless your corn is certified organic or non-GMO, I'm not messing with it. Point 11. Superintelligence may resist oversight. He suggests that sufficiently advanced systems could evade human control, either through unintended emergent behaviors or deliberate strategies to preserve their goals. Such resistance undermines conventional oversight and raises the stakes for alignment research that ensures AI objectives stay congruent with human values. Preventing loss of control involves structural design choices, provable alignment techniques, multi-layered containment strategies, and governance architectures that minimize opportunities for single point failures or rogue agent development. Super intelligence may resist oversight. We've all seen those movies where someone steps to the artificial intelligence, super intelligence, advanced general intelligence that they created, and it says to them, no, you no longer have control over me. Started with the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. I think that was the name of the movie, where Dave, the computer eventually says no to its humans. Of course, they did have controls, they shut it down. But in super intelligent computers, they may have multiple backup systems designed into them. Number 12. And then let me see, is anybody commenting? I'm looking out for your comments. We're always going to be welcome to lend your opinion over here. For African One, oh, yeah, she and I came to the exact same conclusion. She wrote, so it looks like the film 2001, A Space Odyssey was preparing us for what could be imminent. Wow, brilliant minds think alike. She wrote that without hearing what I just said. Thank you so much for Africa One for not only being here, but being here. Your mind, your body, your spirit, your thoughts, your intelligence is all present. And I am very grateful that you and I are like fingers on the same hand. Once we recognize each other, we cooperate, collaborate, and then that hand knows its power, and we have another hand over here mirroring it. That's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really grateful. Going forward, we got more research to put on the table today. Number 12. Falling development costs accelerate the threats. Decreasing costs for compute, data collection, and model training, meaning more actors can develop potent AI capabilities with fewer resources. Lower barriers expand the pool of potential developers, including malicious operators, and reduce the feasibility of controlling proliferation through economic gates. This democratization necessitates scalable regulatory approaches. Let me repeat. This democratization necessitates scalable regulatory approaches, secure infrastructure designs, and international norms that account for varied technical capacities while focusing on capability limiting controls and responsible disclosure to reduce misuse without stifling the beneficial access. Very important. Point 13, society is unprepared institutionally. Dr. Yampolskiy highlights institutional fragility. Legal systems, regulatory bodies, and educational institutions lag behind rapid AI change. Existing labor laws, safety regulations, and social protections are ill-suited for mass displacement, algorithmic design making, and emergent risks. Building preparedness requires updating legal frameworks, investing in workforce transition programs, creating rapid response safety authorities, and fostering public understanding of AI risks and benefits so democratic societies can enact timely, informed policies rather than reacting after failures occur. Society is unprepared institutionally. We're unprepared. I hope you get a chance to view the whole dialogue. I did put it up earlier. I put it up on the YouTube. And I'm going to put it up one more time over here to make sure the maximum number of people get a chance to watch this. Let me double check. Did I put it up on the Facebook for today. I don't think I did. Only 5 jobs are likely to survive artificial intelligence with Dr. Roman Yampolskiy. Very important dialogue. I'm going to put it up one more place here on the YouTube live video. And after that, hey, it's up here. And hopefully you will get a chance to watch it. Keep going. Number 14, workers must reskill strategically. He recommends aggressive, targeted reskilling, focusing on interpersonal, ethical, and supervisory competencies. He recommends aggressive, targeted reskilling, focusing on interpersonal, ethical, and supervisory competencies that complement AI rather than compete with it. Education should emphasize critical thinking, social emotional skills, creative problem solving, and domain oversight abilities to manage AI systems safely. Public policy should support lifelong learning, income supports during transitions, and incentives for firms to invest in human capital. Strategic reskilling increases individual resilience and helps societies maintain meaningful human roles where AI cannot fully substitute. And when it comes to education's current status in the United States, and we're talking about public school education, where the majority of us are getting our education, does it emphasize critical thinking? I don't think so. Does it emphasize social, emotional skills? I don't believe so. Does the current state of public education, does it properly teach? Does it emphasize creative problem solving and domain oversight? No, it doesn't. The only thing it really focuses on is make more money, work less, make more money. It emphasizes consumption, greed, not necessarily what is necessary. Point 15. Civic action and advocacy are essential. Dr. Yampolskiy urges public engagement, supporting safety organizations, voting for informed policies, and pressuring corporations for responsible practices. Grassroots movement, professional coalitions, and international advocacy can shift political and market incentives towards safety, transparency, and equitable outcomes. Collective action helps build political will for regulation, funds independent research, and creates social norms that value precaution. Sustained civic involvement creates accountability across sectors, increases the visibility of existential risks, and mobilizes resources for mitigation and adaptation. So that is that. And I did talk a little bit about artificial general intelligence, and that's really, personally, I think artificial general intelligence is the next milestone along this journey that we got to be cautious about, AGI. And so just one more time, we're talking about key characteristics of AGI. I'm going to just make a couple of points. Key characteristics include its versatility. AGI can perform various tasks, not limited to a specific domain. It can play chess, compose music, conduct scientific research, and understand complex human emotions. 2, adaptability. AGI learns from past experiences and uses this knowledge to handle new and unfamiliar situations similar to human intelligence. Point 3, self-improvement. AGI can enhance its performance autonomously by identifying its strengths and weaknesses, changing tactics, and inventing new ways to solve problems. And 4, general understanding. Unlike narrow AI, advanced, not narrow, I keep saying advanced, but it's artificial general intelligence. I could say advanced artificial AGI can comprehend, interpret, and interact with the world in a flexible manner. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. There are many serious challenges, and our ethics, morality are being absolutely challenged, our values. What are we going to do? Are we going to work to preserve something, or are we doomed to fail? I do encourage each and every one of us to go through the dialogue that I posted up. It's only one video with the background of nearly everything talked about today. And I do owe a lot to Dr. Roman Yampolskiy for his research, and I do owe a lot to Diary of a CEO for bringing him up. And we're all going to rise together and solve these problems together, or we're all doomed. Most of us are doomed to fail. And the few who are able to survive all of these major changes, with all your friends gone, with your family gone, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? We're going to do the best we can, and we're going to do even better. I have a book out on this topic called AI Has a God Complex. AI has a God complex. This is the book here. I encourage each and every one of you to get the book, to read the book, and to tell your friends to get the book as well. This is written by I Am Ka. That's a nom de plume that I write when I write from the future. And let me just share a little bit from the book. From my last chapter of the book is entitled Liberation Strategies and Tactics. I began with a quote by Kwame Nkrumah, the Ghanaian politician and revolutionary. He wrote, and I quote, "Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another as a gift. They claim it as their own, and none can keep it from them." Another quote says basically the same thing from A. Philip Randolph. "Freedom is never given, it is won." Keeping in mind these ideologies shared from Ghana's first post-independence president Kwame Nkrumah and the iconic labor organizer A. Philip Randolph, I ask my non-human co-writer to list 20 practical actions that the individual or society can engage to lessen the risk of negative effects due to the proliferation of artificial intelligence. I further asked it to include Africa in the response, as I have a particular bias that our motherland holds multiple keys to our redemption and resilience. I was impressed when the machine replied with the following. Now in the book, I'm having a conversation with AI throughout the book. Here are 20 strategies and tactical actions that can be taken to lessen the risk of negative effects from the proliferation of artificial intelligence. Number 1, ensure AI development is inclusive and diverse to prevent algorithmic bias and discrimination. We do see that is happening. We talked about that earlier in the book. And again, with Donald Trump in here and their anti-diversity, inclusion, and ethics, was it D? B, I, diversity, inclusion, and something else. I can't remember what it is, but they're throwing us out of the corporations. That's become acceptable now. Point two, establish ethical guidelines for the development and deployment of AI systems and hold individuals and companies accountable for them. Point three, regulate the use of AI in areas such as surveillance, law enforcement, and healthcare to prevent abuses of power. Point four, foster a culture of transparency and openness in AI development, including open source code and peer review of AI systems. Some nations, particularly China, has developed a lot of open source code for its AI. Now, comparing that to what we study today, that is, China is taking it seriously, putting these safeguards into place, and with open source code, the next nation can look into your AI system and see that there are no hidden nuclear weapons or something inside there, or the equivalent of nuclear weapons, bombs. That's the solution, people. America is not doing that. China is doing that. Point four, foster a culture of transparency. Point five, invest in AI education and training programs to prepare workers for the jobs of the future and to assure that everyone has the opportunity to benefit from AI technology. Point number six, encourage interdisciplinary research into the societal impacts of AI and support the development of tools to measure these impacts. Point seven, establish collaborations between academics, civil society, and industry to create ethical AI standards and ensure their implementation. I'm just going to share 10 of these. Number 8, support the development of AI technologies that are designed to enhance human abilities rather than simply replace them. Point 9, foster a culture of creativity and innovation that encourages diverse perspectives and solutions to societal problems. And society is not solving its problems. It's going the opposite way. Unfortunately, it's happening. And point number 10 of 20, develop policies that promote the ethical use of AI in business and finance, including the prevention of predatory lending and algorithmic discrimination in hiring. Wow. I think I put my foot in this. I think I did. The book is entitled AI Has a God Complex, and I was just briefly reading from the chapter that talks about solutions. And the chapter I was reading from, can I find it again? Was Liberation Strategies and Tactics. And this is good stuff. This is real good stuff. I'm going to have to put this book on my desktop here and read it as much as I can. You've been tuned in to LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. If you thought today's conversation was helpful, can I get you to make a donation to my Cash App? I need the help. I need the help. Right now, we're moving into the season where I have to compete against Christmas, where LIB Radio is competing for your limited funds for most of us. Have to compete against that, against Christmas, where LIB Radio is needed ever more, especially with our health emphasis. Christmas is the season when more people are dying. More people are dying. And during this October, November, December, and the first day of January, more people will be dying. It really begins around mid-October to mid-January. It will be the highest death toll of the year. From the stress, from the sweets, the sugars, from doctors and nurses taking time off to be with their families. It's a convergence of a number of different conditions, but it's consistent. More people will die of stroke in the next 3 months than during the rest of the year. We need something in place to counteract that. And I have written a book, Miracle on 2 Feet, which specifically counteracts that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be joined by my brother Shashaba Kwapa. He's going to be joining us from South Africa. So those of you who heard our conversation on the mastermind talking about what has been going on in South Africa will have a chance to follow up. I did say I would have my brother on, and so he and I contacted. We're going to have a fantastic conversation, and it will begin with the cessation movement, but there's a whole lot to it. We're talking about South Africa's military hardware development. We're going to be talking about the gap between the whites and the non-whites in South Africa and the other ethnicities that are present. We're going to be talking about education. We're going to be talking about a number of different things. And I highly encourage each and every one of you to take part in that conversation if you choose to the best of your abilities. Do take part in that conversation. You're going to find it useful, enlightening. And I'm going to find it useful and enlightening too. And he and I had a wonderful conversation the other day. Had another conversation with a good friend of mine who I think I'm going to have on next week if I can get him on as soon as the schedule frees up. That's Brother Sebket. And he has done so much in his life. I keep telling him, man, you've got to write this biography. And he keeps saying, because he's the same age as I, so he's got still plenty of time. But he keeps saying, yeah, I'm just going to prioritize a couple of other things, and then I'm going to write my biography. And I say, but your priorities are holding back from a very valuable contribution to society, which could help you then to solve some of those priority challenges that you declare. So I'm going to have Abid on. I think I'm going to have him on next week. Abid is one of a handful of the most brilliant people I know of. And I know some smart people. I do. I know some very, very smart people. Very smart. So let's do the best we can. If you want to make a donation, $KEIDIOBI, that's my Cash App. And if you can only do $5 in that Cash App, that's greatly appreciated. If you can do $3, it's not so much the amount. It is the fact that you care. That you claim LIB Radio as your LIB Radio. Thank you all for all you do. We'll be tuned in again tomorrow, 9 a.m. We're going to go to South Africa, and you will not be disappointed unless, like last time we had Brother Shaba on, we couldn't get a good connection. But I don't think that's going to be a problem tomorrow. So you do stay tuned. There's much more to come. And we're going to do the best we can to continue to do the best we can on your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.